Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to see this, I would like to offer your Rune Elemental reading for the week of April 13th through the 19th for 2025. If you're interested as to why I read for the runes, or the the elements versus the zodiac, there's a link in the description down below. And there's also some cool rune information and sets if you're looking for something for your own collection down there as well. If you've never had your charts read, there is a natal interpretation chart, and it's one that I personally use. It's not a sponsored thing or anything like that, although I would love if it ever did. But it's actually a really good product. It gives you the 12 houses with all the little signs and symbols, and then gives you 10 to 20 page description of what all that is. It's not super personal, but it's a good outline to get you started. So with that, we'll get started with our readings. And we'll start off with fire. Fire covers the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Your first rune for our fire family is Berkana, the birth rune. Color of dark green. Tarot association is the Empress, and astrology is Virgo, so you're working with some earth energy here. Renewal, promise of new beginnings, new growth, birth, family, and the home. So fire this week is really about you stepping into that home life, whether that is doing some spring cleaning, getting some things started, but they're also saying that there's this new beginning. So this could be a time to renew some vows, or maybe start that next level of your relationship. But it's saying that this is really a time for you to step into the next level of life, whether that's business, personal, whatever it is. This week, the stars have aligned to help you reset your foundation, get things organized and planned, because there's a leveling up that is occurring, and it's pretty much you're ready to birth something new into your current existence, which is kind of cool. Your second rune for our fire family here is the Kano rune, which is the rune of torches and fire. Color of light red. Tarot association is the Chariot. Astrology is the planet Venus. Creative fire, artistic impulses, passion, sexual desires, and energy. So fire this week is definitely looking good for you. There's going to be some very positive movements going on here. And when you've got Berkana and Kano coming forward, this is a time where it could be a relationship that's going to a deeper level. There could be a connection. And they're saying if you're single, this could be the start of something much better or interesting. They keep using the word interesting, so I'm not sure what that means yet. But for fire, it's definitely going to be a week where you're able to step into the flow of life in a way that you haven't done in a little bit. And it's saying it's your turn, you're due. It's time for you to step into this and enjoy it. So see where that goes for you, fire, because it's definitely gonna be fun no matter what else is happening there. Let's hop over to our Earth family. Earth is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And Earth, you are starting off with, where to go? There it is. Fehu, which is a color association of light red. Tarot association is the Tower, and astrology is Aries. So you're working with some fire energy. That happened last week or the week before too. Fire and air and Earth really were working well together. So we had another one of those weeks. Good luck, success, fertility, and harmony. And it's funny that those are the key words, because you have the Tower working with this rune. And so you've got a lot of positivity. There might be some things that need to be moved out of the way first. And that's where the Tower comes in, because you have to kind of take things apart to build something better. And that's the energy that's coming forward, because it's definitely a time for you, Earth, to step into the next set. They're saying it's time to do some of that house cleaning stuff too, because it's time to make space for the abundance that the universe wants to bring forward for you. Your second rune is the Word rune. It is the rune of fate. There's nothing on this rune. It's the blank. It is mystery, fate, unknown, having faith, and having trust. when you have this energy coming together with Fehu and the word, it's saying things are definitely looking up for you, and things are going in the way that now that the motion has started, enjoy the ride. You have put a lot in motion, and I've gotten this for a little bit for Earth. You've set some things in motion. You've gotten the ball rolling, and the fate, God, source, divine, the universe, however you look at this, is stepping in saying, okay, you laid the foundation, you started the ball rolling, now are you ready to go for this ride? Because it's going to be a long one. They're saying that this is not the short term for Earth. There's a big shift that you've been planning. There's been a lot of indecision that you've been dealing with, Earth. And this is saying, but you've been setting aside these intentions. You've been setting yourself up with, this is where I want to go. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to experience. And you keep loading the universe with this information, which is great. That's what we're here to do. And now it's saying, fate has stepped in. It is taking that, and now the ball is rolling. So things are going to start moving quickly. However that works, because everyone's version of quick is different. But things are going to start moving quickly, and it's going to happen in such a way that you do not feel like you have to work for it. Your focus is to hold true to what you are hunting for, what you've been looking for, those affirmations, those vision boards, things like that, because the universe is stepping in saying, you've put this into the vortex, to use Abraham Hicks terms, and now it's time for it to be brought back out into the physical world. So it goes from inner world to outer, and that's where you're at right now, is that transition period. So Earth, it looks like you guys are going to have some fun too. Fire's the most amorous so far, but Earth, you definitely have the positive stuff moving as well. Let's take a peek at our air family. Air covers Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And air, you are starting off with the Rado rune, which is the rune of a long journey on horseback. Color of bright red, a lot of red in this reading today. Yeah, a lot of red. Anyway, tarot association is the Hierophant or the High Priest, and your astrology is Sagittarius, so you're working with some fire. Interesting, air and earth are working with fire. This indicates a physical journey, pleasant ones, journeys that bring positive development. It can also imply spiritual journeys or spiritual expansion. So, air. If things have been in the process of feeling a little stagnant lately, this is saying there's going to be some movement occurring, whether that is physically, whether it's job, whether it's that relationship taking a different path, going a little deeper, getting a little more. They like the word intimate today for some reason, so we're going with that. But things are shifting in ways that it's the fluid, it's that motion. It's no longer the stagnant where the dust just hangs in the air. It's time for things to start moving for you as well. We're working into this spring energy here in the northern hemisphere, so there's a lot of birth regrowth aspect of this. And with the Rado, long journeys on horseback, meaning in some ways you're going to be carried. Your purpose, your goal, the thing that is being asked of you from the universe, what direction do you want to go? You steer this thing, it's just going to move. So you're the one in control of that part, air, which is kind of where you want to be anyway. But it's really about setting those intentions, being clear, and then once things start moving, make the adjustments as needed. Don't just let it go. Definitely don't do that. But it's saying this is a time for you to really rein things in and set your goals, and then hold true to what it is that you're hunting for. So your second rune is the Algiz rune, which is the rune of protection. Color of gold, tarot association is the moon, and astrology is Cancer. Air, you're working with some interesting energies here because you're balancing between fire and water. You have protection from danger, resisting temptation, new beginnings are possible. So when you tie these two together, your trip, the journey, the things that are starting to move for you, you're being protected from a lot of the pitfalls that may have occurred otherwise. Because you have waited, you've bided your time, not sure if that's the right word, but you have set yourself up for success by watching for the signs, following your intuition, even when your intellect, your preferred way of communicating, has said, just go ahead and do it. But your intuition's like, no, hold up, we're not quite there yet. Because of that, you've actually gained the protection, you've gained the knowledge and experience that you've needed, so that now when this horse that you're riding starts going, you can actually direct it with accurate information and intellectual superiority. So you know. There's not a question in my mind that you know what direction you're headed right now, and that actually is a good thing, because you are able to dictate the direction that this horse that you're riding goes, because your goals are your business. This is not anyone else's. So anyone else who's like, I don't think that's a good idea, because you're the one thinking that's idea. You have your idea over there. You've got this. Just stay true to what your dreams and goals are. Don't worry about other people's. Let's take a peek here at our water energy. Water is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all of our fishies. And water. You are starting off with the Iawaz rune, which is the yew tree. Color is dark blue. Tarot association is the Hanged Man, and astrology is Scorpio. So this rune is like one of your runes, water. Protection, a time of death and rebirth, foresight, and perseverance. What do you need to let go of, water? What have you been holding on to that no longer serves you? I'm hearing there is something very specific, water, that some of you have been playing with. Something has come up from inside, and you're like, should I let this go? It goes back to this past person, and they're being specific. It's a past person, like an ex or something like that, and there is a little bit of guilt associated here, and they're saying, let it go. This is a time to let that aspect, that emotion, that guilt, that possibly shame, let that die. It's no longer necessary. You've learned the lesson, so you're going to carry that forward. That is a part of who you are. That's what's made you who you are today, water. But that does not mean you have to wallow in it. You've grown beyond it. The reason it's coming up now is it's time to release the emotion. And that's that death that's coming forward with the yew tree. But with that death comes knowledge, because the rebirth is, here's the lesson that I have learned, therefore I do not step in that same pitfall in the future. So water, you have been blessed with this very powerful lesson for this week with the Hanged Man. By going through this process of release and rebirth, it allows you to shift your perspective. It allows you to see from another point of view, and by doing that, you start to understand a little bit more about the complexity as to what that actually did in your sphere of influence and how you have grown because of it. When you shift your perspective from playing, why did this happen, how pitiful, that kind of thing, into how can I learn from this, which is where this energy is shifting, all of a sudden you step into your authority, water. And that's beautiful, because now you can make those decisions and move forward. Your second rune is the Tiawaz rune, which is Tyr, the god of war's symbol. Color of bright red, again with the red. Tarot association is justice, and astrology is Libra, so you're working with some air here. And we have courage and energy, the power to weave the pattern of your own life. Water, we're going to be a little serious here for a second. Sorry. You're being called to release that which does not serve you longer. Whatever is coming up in this moment, the first thing you think about, that is usually the thing that is ready to be let go of. You're releasing the energy of it. You're releasing the emotion of it. The lesson you're always going to carry, you're not going to forget that person, but that person will no longer have an emotional control over you. With that release, this is allowing you, and this is where this Tiawaz comes in, because it could be a little bit of a battle to let this go. But once you do, water, you will see the pattern of how that release, taking out that thread that no longer serves, all of a sudden things start to fit together. We are the weavers of our own dreams. We are the weavers of our own lives. We, by our very thoughts, our patterns, and our existences, put together the life we want. Water, now is your time to take out the threads that do no longer fit. Release those. You do not need them. Let them go. And once you do that, you can see the pattern of, yes, you needed that for a moment. It was a placeholder. When you take it out, everything sets together better and you see more clearly where you are headed. When you look at Tiawas, it's an arrow. It's pointing you in the direction. So when you take out the things that no longer serve and you cast them away, it allows you to see the direction. It allows you to see the patterns that you've been building in your life. And water, this is a beautiful gift you're granted this week. Now, for some of you, you're going to be able to revamp a whole bunch of stuff real quick. Others, you're going to see the next steps. Whichever it is, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Don't overthink it. Don't overstress about it. Embrace the shifting and embrace the change, water. That is where you're at this week. Final thoughts. For most everybody, it's going to be a really powerful week of positive shifting and growth. Even with our more serious aspect that's coming forward for water, you have this energy of growth and potential going on this week. I want to bring forward, this is a time for all signs, all souls, everyone who witnesses this, to understand you are the weaver of your existence. You are the one who gets to pick the next steps. You work in conjunction with God's source divine, therefore you work in divine alignment. When you tap into that alignment, you see what needs to be removed. You see the way the colors weave together, the different people, the different experiences. Your tapestry for each individual person is your own. The beauty of it is there's no two alike. Enjoy how you weave your pattern and look at the miraculous things you've already seen and accomplished, and look forward to how are you planning out the next level. With that, I will let you guys go. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video.